Othmane Jadid, you're an accomplished and versatile author, journalist, and media director, renowned for your ability to keenly observe and comprehend the needs of the market. You're the author of Moroccan Rhapsody, a deeply personal and powerful book that tells the story of Sharaf, a young boy from Casablanca, and his journey through life. Today, we'll say more about your book. Thank you for agreeing to this interview.
I'm very happy to be here with Fatima Zahra today, and thank you so much for the invitation.
First, we want to know what inspired you to write a Moroccan Rhapsody.
Well, Moroccan Rhapsody is sort of was born out of my deep connection to Moroccan culture. In my experiences growing up, in Casablanca, it's kind of a vibrant city with its vibrant streets. As a native, I grew up in Hay Mohammedi, especially in the city. I've been immersed in its rich, tapestry kind of thing. Sounds, colors, stories, especially stories. Because that's what fascinated me since a young age. I always looked in the streets. I looked in the city, and I looked at a lot of stories in there. In the streets of Casablanca are alive with constant rhythm. Each corner has its own tale with a lot of people, a lot of plots. I found out about the griot. It was a concept that I heard about it from Dave Chappelle, the African-American comedian, and the griot is a concept of a storyteller. It was in the African culture, and I was fascinated by that, and I linked that with the fascination that I had with Casablanca stories, and I've been fascinated from a young age about the griot. So storytelling in Moroccan culture as well, it was just not a pastime. Is a way of life. We have al-halqa, we have a lot of storytellers in each street. So, even in family, my grandpa was a storyteller. So, I was fascinated by that from a young age. And in kind of storytelling, it connects us with our past in some way, with our present, and as well as our future. Some way, it connects us with our past and help us understand our present, and as well as shape our future. For me, always Moroccan Rhapsody was a bridge between reality and, my reality. It was someone who grew up in Casablanca, looking at stories and delivering authentic stories, because Moroccan Rhapsody is true stories. I wanted to capture the essence of everyday life in Morocco, and the quiet moments as well as the loud ones, the reflection of Casablanca in some way, and through the characters and their journey. And each chapter of the novel reflects a piece of Moroccan life. Each character, each thing, you can find yourself in each one of them. In Moroccan Rhapsody is a celebration of the storytelling tradition that is deeply rooted in Moroccan culture. So, it's kind of an homage, to true stories that I call worth telling, because there's stories that are really, really worth telling. You capture the heart and soul of a nation, which is the Moroccan nation that we love.
What themes or messages do you aim to convey through the journey of Sharaf?
Through the character of Sharaf, there's a lot of things that I would like to convey. Several important messages, actually. Sharaf's journey reflects the harsh reality of poverty. Of course, that's the first and the main thing. Sharaf has always had that orphan, no parents kind of story. That's the beginning of it. And I don't want to spoil anything for the readers, of course, that didn't read the book yet. But I would like to speak about the highlight of the socioeconomic disparities in our society. That's the kind of thing that I would like to speak about. The marginalized and economically disadvantages that a lot of people live every day. There is a lot of lightly mentioned subject like polygamy in our society, of multiple wives, and interaction with individuals with different religious backgrounds, of the Jewish community, the Christian community. That's the thing that a lot of readers likes about my book, which is each character, each part of the story brings us a different perspective than the other. And that's what the Sharaf story was about.
And how does Moroccan Rhapsody explore the different ways Moroccan society copes with pain?
Okay, I love this question, because it's kind of the difference. It's the tempo that I set into each character and how they deal with pain, because Moroccan society grapples with pain, often in a nuanced portrayal of coping mechanisms. Some characters embodies silence, repression, avoiding confrontation with at all means. And others display resilience, finding strength in their communities, traditions, through the narrative that I gave the book, we witness the effects of integrational trauma, the struggle of individual to confront their past and the healing power of solidarity and support. The novel sheds the light on, the complexities of pain, the multitude of ways it manifests within Moroccan society, ultimately emphasizing the importance of acknowledging, addressing the pain, eventually addressing the trauma that's been passed generationally sometimes, and sometimes through hard things like harm or like abuse or such things, and finding that balance between the silence and repression that we have. We don't speak about it. For example, you're a man, don't speak about it, and overcoming it with strength, and that's what I like about it.
Othmane Jadid, could you share one of the challenges Sharaf faces through the story? We will not speak about how he overcomes them because we want our listeners to read the book and discover themselves.
I think there's a lot of challenges Sharaf faces through the story, and I think one of them there is a lot, but I think one of them that comes through is the always like constant feeling of being the, between brackets, the orphan, the outcast, the street boy, the ghetto boy. I think that challenge is one of the things that we always struggle with. It's also a personal experience, even if you are like now in a good place, doing good things with nice people, with a better environment, and you're always stuck in that loop of like, inferiority, and you can't speak about certain things that you went through just because how different like society looks at you.
And what do you hope readers will take away from Moroccan Rhapsody after reading it?
So I think there's two different reactions that I'm looking for in Moroccan Rhapsody, which is the first reaction that I would like to have is for Moroccans to have like a mirror held into their face, which is confront the difficult truth, and engage in meaningful conversation with themselves, with each other about issues that I spoke about, ultimately to aspire for Moroccan Rhapsody to serve as a bridge, between us before and us now, of like now we're accepting what we have and now let's change it, also a bridge between cultures, to understand ourselves better. However, there's also the second part, which is with foreigners, who I would love for them to have a better understanding, appreciation of Moroccan culture. We're much more than just like Marrakesh, and we're much more than just the touristic Morocco. We're whole culture, where we recognition of the universal human experience that we all struggle, even in such beautiful places like Morocco, through the diverse, of course, characters and stories. We'd like to spark that empathy, reflection of topics such as not even about the things that I spoke about before, but like identity, tradition, resilience, complexity of modern life.
Othmane Jadid, how do you believe Sharaf's experiences embody larger concepts of identity and personal development?
I think this question is very beautiful. Sharaf's experience embody a larger concept of identity for sure. Sharaf grapples with his identity within, a lot of kinds of characters, society, in a society that often dictates norms and expectations. Like, you're a ghetto boy, you have to be a ghetto boy, you don't have to be anything else. Or you're now better, you have to stay better, you forget about your past trauma. We're not categorized like that. So psychology doesn't dictate like that. And the more I study behavioral science, psychology, I know better. And that's not what society feels like. His journey encompasses various facts, identity included in within that society, feeling of belonging, cultural heritage, and of course the one that I speak about heavily, which is socioeconomic status. It's the one that it gets to me because we're not that kind of country that has much of racism. Even in the latest years, we see a little bit of it with foreigners, but not as much as other countries. But we do have socioeconomic status. And as Sharaf confronts societal pressures as well as personal challenges at the same time, he undergoes like a very significant personal development. And that's what makes the story good. That's the plot of it. He accepts of himself despite the societal stigma. Sharaf's experience serve as a, like a micro example of broader themes of like identity and personal development in Moroccan society. His journey, makes readers witness the complexities of navigating cultural, societal, and individual identities. The transformative power of self-discovery and acceptance. That's what makes Sharaf's journey underscores the importance of embracing one's true self.
How do you think everyone who reads the book will see himself or herself in the character of Sharaf?
I would answer this question as simple as possible, which is Sharaf's character goes through a lot of phases in his life that makes everyone looks at him and see themselves. And of course, just the fact that he faces personal problems as well as societal norms in various topics, you would find yourself in one of his adventures. And as well as, I don't think Sharaf is the only one that readers can see themselves in, but the other characters. I think that's the beauty of it. The characters are like, you cannot just read the Moroccan Rhapsody and not find yourself in one of the characters. Sharaf is a canvas that we find all ourselves in. His life is a very big canvas, and that's what makes Moroccan Rhapsody a very relatable experience.
How do you hope the portrayal of Moroccan culture in Moroccan Rhapsody contributes to a deeper understanding and appreciation of Moroccan culture for foreign readers?
I think personally, I spoke about it lately before, but I would speak about it now. I think foreign readers are like one of like the main niches that I try to sell my book to, and I think their way of like dealing with the book is very different than Moroccan readers, because they finding out that Morocco is way much more than Marrakesh, as I said. And I found this conversation with a French friend of mine who read my book. We met through the book actually, and there was this nice conversation of like, wow, okay, even if we're like French, we can find ourselves in the book at the same time as we're trying to find out Moroccan culture. So we're like, even if we're different, even if we're like, I'm French, someone else is, Spanish, someone else is Asian, we all kind of find ourselves in the story because we all struggle in our way, in our society, with our family, with our friends, with our colleagues, that we try to find ourselves in this world. But at the same time, they're trying to understand that Moroccan culture is way broader. We have a lot of things that they don't know about, because the book doesn't only have the bad things, it has good things as well. The beauty of the Atlas, the beauty of the streets of Casablanca, the beauty of like the saying of like, nobody goes hungry in Morocco. It's the idea of like generosity of Moroccans. Even if you're in really low position, you would find where you would sleep and you would find yourself covered by others. And that's what's it's like, Sharaf is an orphan, and he found himself growing up and people like pushing him even with all the problems. It's kind of like a mix between the sweet and sour, or like sweet and bitter. It's like a tapestry of it all.
Lastly, Othmane Jadid, what's next for you as an author? Any upcoming projects?
Well, I think I do have a lot of projects, because I am the president of Moroccan Writers, and I'm trying to do a lot of things for the Moroccan literature scene. I'm trying to develop especially the scene of Moroccan English writers, which is like a very, very niche, small scene that doesn't have a lot of people who comes to it. But as an author, I have a book in the works. I do have something else in the works that I think that the Moroccan English readers would enjoy, which is something that the same thing that Gregi did with the national team. I'm trying to gather the best of the best, and I'm trying to work on something, and I hope a lot of people would appreciate it. For my next book, it would be very different than this one. It's not going to be about the Moroccan in the way of like culture, but it would be like kind of a historical book.
Othmane Jadid, author, journalist, and media director, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for the invitation one more time.